All right, so I've already plotted the 3 points that we were given in the first line and made my first derivative and second derivative number line. So first derivative is changing from negative to positive at -3, which gives us a local minimum. And so we're going to have a minimum here. And it changes from positive to negative at x equals 0, so we're going to have a max up here. Second derivative is positive when x is less than 0, and then positive from 0 to 2. So here it's not changing. So in this case, there's no inflection point at 0, only at 2. So we're only going to have one inflection point here at 2, because at that point it changes from positive to negative, concave up to concave down. Now, one thing I want to go back to the first derivative line for is this is the first time we've got it with an undefined critical value, right? So undefined critical value, there's something we need to keep in mind. If the derivative is undefined, on our graph we're going to see one of two things, most likely. What are those two things? Vertical tangent, or what? Not a hole. Cusp, right? Like a sharp turn or cusp. For these problems that we're doing, it's probably going to be one of those two things. Here, we're changing from positive to negative, so we have a max. So it's not going to be a vertical tangent line. That wouldn't be a max or a min. For this one, we're going to end up having some type of a cusp in our drawing. So we want to keep that in mind when we get to that drawing part of the curve. So let's take a look. We have an inflection point at x equals 2. We need to put that in here. It has to be between this point and this one. So just somewhere in between. Doesn't really matter. But that's going to be an inflection point. This is just kind of some random point. It's not an inflection point. It's not a min. It's not a max. But it has to be on the graph. So it has to go through there. Let's go ahead and take a look at sketching the graph. First part is going to be concave up until we get to 0. So from here all the way to the max, it's going to be concave up. So we're going to get like a full U shape going on there. And then from 0 to 2, it's still concave up. So from here to here, concave up. It's not going through a min or a max, so we're just doing like half of that parabola or half of that U. And then it's going to be concave down from 2 on. So it has to go through this point. It's not a min or a max or anything, or an inflection point. It just has to go through this point and concave down. So that's our graph, right? And we ended up with that cusp because it's concave up, then concave up again.